Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another Monday of Yoga for Cancer. I'm Tari Prinster, and I welcome you to my little home studio right here in Vermont. We were here last week, and there were 100 people who joined us for our class, and then over 200 people watched the recording of our broadcast last Monday. We have over 300 people registered today, so I hope that some of you I may not know, some of you, I think a lot of you I do know, and I want to welcome everyone. This recording will be available on the website, Yoga for Cancer, so anyone who misses it, or if you want to watch it again with someone in your household, please do. Feel free to do that at any time. Now, there are a few things I want to start off with, which is I hope that you will commit, clear a space, a nice quiet space, and just surrender yourself to the fact that for the next hour, we're going to be together doing yoga. And then I want to talk a little tiny bit about props. Last week, I talked about how you could use CD covers, old CD covers, and make nice yoga blocks out of them. And also, of course, a stack of books works really nicely too. However, I've made a new discovery, thanks to my good friend Lydia, and that paper towels, they are surprisingly sturdy. And if you have a couple of rolls of paper towel, they work really great as yoga blocks. And in fact, I'm going to take mine right now and put them under my thighs because I need them. And the other thing that I want, two things I want to point out is that if you happen to have a strap somewhere, this is the rest of our Yoga for Cancer housekeeping that we're going to do, is that find a yoga strap or a belt. I think Dale has a belt there, and a belt will do. Even a scarf will do. Not for a mask, but to use it in our yoga practice. If you are fortunate enough to have an eye pillow, maybe you can grab an eye pillow for our final closing poses. And then, of course, I want you to have a rolled blanket. I have one yoga blanket over here, and I have discovered that rolling the blanket, starting from the folded end, is a lot more constructive than folding it from the end that has the fringe on it. So roll up a folded blanket like I'm doing here, or even any other household blanket. I've rolled up a quilt, just a household quilt, and it gives the very same effect as a rolled blanket. So you're going to need this rolled blanket like this with the fringe end out for the latter part of our class here today. Set that aside and give you a few minutes to prepare yourself to come to well, before we go onto our backs, which is where we're going to go, I'm going to have Dale, who is assisting me today from her studio in New Hampshire, to show you, if you get tired, what do? And here's what we recommend. This is a pose that we call our Hangout Pose. She's going to lie down on her back. Saw how nicely she got onto the floor there. Bend her knees and let the knees rest on on each other and the feet come wide. This is what we call Hangout Pose. So find your way onto your backs and come to a supine position on your back. And if that supine position is a little stressful on your lower spine, you can always use the rolled up blanket and put it underneath your thighs and your knees. Otherwise, stretch your legs out and place one hand on your abdomen, doesn't matter which one, and one hand on your heart. And while you are here, we are going to breathe. But first, I know we've all heard that there's a lot of new news going around. I'm going to give you some old news. Yoga is good for you. Yoga, the news says, is a good stretch. The old news also gives us lots of evidence that yoga will reduce stress. And of course, yoga is a great aid to sleep. Besides all that, yoga can help us calm anxieties. Much evidence to show that yoga can relieve depression. But fundamentally, yoga helps increase and strengthen our immune system. Now, how does yoga do all of those things? Not new news, but it is doing it for us all the time. So simply, because of how we breathe. Now, in these times, deep breath times that we are living in, might need a little refresher course on how and what happens when we breathe. So with your hands on your chest and on your abdomen, I want you to take 3 breaths. Don't exaggerate them. Don't do anything different. Just breathe in 3 times and observe what happens. And now I want you to take 3 more breaths in your time and just focus on the inhale. That's the first part of breathing. So watch your chest as you inhale. Describe to yourself what is happening 3 times. And now we are going to focus on the part of the breath that sometimes gets forgotten. We breathe in. We're told to take a deep breath in when we're feeling anxious or stressed. Often we forget to breathe out. And that's where it all happens. So focus 3 breaths. Maybe switch your hands and focus on what happens each time you breathe out. There are many muscles that are working to help you release that breath. There are the muscles of the diaphragm and the muscles of your abdomen. One more slow, smooth breath in. Watch it. And then begin to exhale after a short pause. And let that exhale be as long as possible. Do you feel the relaxation that happens with the exhale? One more like that. A gentle inhale. And then watching the exhale, the breath out. And letting the hand on your abdomen gently move towards the floor, towards the mat, towards your lower spine. So now we are going to begin to take the next step of yoga, which is to take that powerful breath and combine it with movement. As we inhale, let's bring your right knee in towards your chest. And here's where, if it's difficult to take that knee into your chest, you can use your belt or your strap and hold on behind that right thigh. Take 3 breaths here. Each inhale lifts the leg up towards the ceiling as far as it'll go. It doesn't have to be straight. And the exhale brings that knee in closer to your chest. 2 more, just like that. Inhale, lift and expand the leg up. Exhale, bring it into your chest. Last one. Inhale, extend and expand. And exhale, let the foot come in towards your chest. Then bring that right leg, place it down on the floor. Stretch it out with an inhale. And as you exhale, draw the left knee in towards your chest. Wrap the belt, strap, or your hands around the back of that left thigh. Inhale, elongate that left leg as much as it will. Exhale, bring it into your chest. Working with the breath and the movement now. Inhale, elongate. And exhale, that brings the left knee in closer to the chest. Last one, elongation with the in-breath. And the exhale, bringing that left knee down and placing the left foot on the floor. And now we will remove the strap, but maybe have it handy because we're going to lift both legs up towards the ceiling. And this might not, for some of you with tight hamstrings, like Dale has very open hamstrings, you might want to wrap the belt around the back of both thighs. And as you inhale, lengthen both legs again. Exhale, pull both knees in towards your chest. Inhale, 2 more. Lengthen as you inhale. And it is the exhale. Once again, feel that abdominal muscles moving towards the floor as we did with our hand. Last one, the elongation on the inhale and the exhale, bringing the knees in towards the chest. And then release the belt and hands to the floor. I'll make 2 suggestions here. For some of you, let your knees stay bent and shins parallel to the floor. Others might feel more comfortable with with the feet on the floor. But if you can feel comfortable bringing your knees in towards your chest, leaving them parallel, take your hands and put them on the tops of your thighs. Inhale here, feel the chest expand. And as you exhale, slide your hands down your thighs towards your hip creases. It's quite okay to put your feet on the floor here too. But the in-breath lifts both hands up towards the knees, and the exhale, sliding. We're doing a lymphatic massage here. And when we spend our time doing it on your own breath, lifting the hands, exhaling, bringing them towards your hip creases. This is quite good for draining lymph. I know my ankles get swollen sitting all day at my computer, and this might be very, very helpful. Something you can do for yourself. Now, maybe you can leave those shins where they are, or put your feet back onto the floor. Either way is fine. But on an in-breath, lift your arms straight up towards the ceiling, pointing the hands straight up towards the ceiling. Good. As you exhale, bend the elbows and come into letting the arms rest on the floor on either side of your head into Cactus Pose. Good. And maybe let the feet rest on the floor now too. We're going to take just a little bit of a twist here. So with the feet on the floor, arms in cactus, let your chest rise. We observed what happens when we inhale. But as you exhale, take a twist by bringing your right hand over, letting the hips slide to and touching your left hand. So coming sort of onto your side body. The in-breath opens you out again into that nice cactus shape on the floor. And the exhale, this time going left hand to right. The in-breath brings us back to center, nice and open. And one more to each side. The exhale is when we come over onto our side. The inhale is when we bring the chest wide and open. And the exhale to the opposite side. Coming back to center, cactus arms. And this time, as you inhale, stretch your arms straight up towards the ceiling and your legs out in front of you. So lengthen the legs, pointing the toes forward. And as you exhale, bring your arms down onto either side, letting them hands cup the floor like little sponges. Point your toes forward as you inhale. Feel the chest rise slightly. And as you exhale, draw the toes in towards your chest, keeping the heels on the floor. So just sort of flex forward and back. Doing little toe flexes, which we'll do later in other poses. The inhale points them forward. The exhale points them back as the heels stay on the floor. This time, as you inhale, pointing forward, lift your arms all the way up and let it rest on a bolster or blankets behind you. Oops, I forgot to tell you to put that there. Then as you exhale, bring the arms down, knees in towards your chest, and wrap your arms around either the backs of your thighs or the front of your shins. And then slowly rock from side to side. Whichever side that you choose, we're going to come up to a seated posture and make yourself comfortable, however you are, to sit well. I'm going to give you a little bit of time to do that. Dale is setting up with her bolster underneath her. I am sitting on a cushion that I stole off of my rocking chair, plus a blanket on top of that. And if you can, cross your legs in front. You can always sit in a chair. And then I'm going to take my paper towels and let my thighs rest on them. You might find other ways to use these paper towels. Get yourself seated nice and comfortable. Place your hands on your knees. We're going to warm up our upper torso now. We're going to move our spine in 5 directions using our breath. And hopefully this will be something you will do when you take a break at your computer or at your desk or just throughout the day. Hands on knees. The first breath we're going to take is going to arch the spine forward and slightly bring the head back. And when we exhale, remember, slow, long, deliberate, mindful exhale as you arch the spine forward. The in-breath takes us to a nice long spine, not to the back, but just a nice long spine, and lift the arms straight up towards the ceiling. That is an elongation of the spine. Take your left hand down and find a place to rest it on your cushion on the floor. Another elongation, and then as you exhale, side bending over to the left. Inhale, back to center, both arms up. Exhale, right hand down. Elongate, and then side bending as you exhale. Inhale, both arms up, and as you exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, center, both arms up. And then slowly, that exhale, really, really slowly, real slow. Bring the hands back where they started. So we'll do that one more time, moving the spine in all 5 directions. The back bend first on an inhale, and the exhale arches the spine forward. Inhale elongates the spine, lifting it up off of our hips. Exhale, keep the right hand where it is, left hand down. Elongate and exaggerate that exhale, slow and deep over, stretching that whole left side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, bring the right hand down. Exaggerate and reach towards the ceiling. But then a deep, deep, deep side bend over to the right. Inhale, back to center, elongating. We want to twist around an elongated upright spine. And then the exhale brings us into that twist. Inhale, back to center. Exhaling to complete the twist to the opposite side. Last in-breath up. And exhale. Place your hands on your knees. Stretch your legs out in front of you. And now I'm going to remove my cushion. You do not need to do that, but I'm going to remove mine because I want to do a few things with you from here. So sitting in a position that's called staff pose, Dandasana. What we want to imagine is that we are in the shape of the letter L. My legs are straight out in front of me, and my spine is straight up towards the ceiling. I'm making the shape of an L. And I'm going to place my hands next to my hips. Sometimes people with longer arms need to put them back behind them a little bit. My arms are pretty much the length of my torso. As I press down and reach my heels forward, I'm elongating my spine, which is a good thing. But as I exhale, I'm going to come forward, hinging at the hips and keeping the front and back of my spine the same length. So I'm not letting my head drop. I'm letting my eyes look straight forward. Inhale back to that L shape. And then as if you are a hinge, you're going to exhale and bring your torso forward, as far forward as it will go, until I feel that my head wants to go forward. Whoops! That's when I bring my head back behind my heart. That's about as far forward as my hips will allow me to go. And that's okay. Inhale, come up again. Exhale, coming as far forward as you can. This time, place your hands somewhere on your shins or your thighs. Inhale, slide the hands up towards the hip creases. Now we did this on our backs. Exhale, folding forward, bringing the hands with you. Inhale, slide it up to the hip creases. What we're doing here is a lymphatic massage. Exhale, coming forward, bringing the hands with you. One more like that. Really reach through the heels. Inhale, elongate the spine up towards the hip creases. The exhale, slow and deep. The slower, the better. Hands to shins. Last one brings us all the way upright. And then we're going to begin to transition onto our hands and knees. So I'm thinking that Dale is doing that. I'm doing it to my right side and coming onto my hands and knees. You may want to bring a blanket underneath your knees. That's completely fine. Setting up for our hands and knees poses. Whether you're using CD covers, yoga blocks, or paper towels, have them at the front of your mat. Now, starting with our right leg. On an inhale, bring that right leg back behind us and shoot that part forward, way in front of your nose. As you exhale, bring the nose and knee together. I'm going to switch sides so you can see me a little better. Inhale the right leg back, looking forward, reaching back at the heel. Exhale, nose and knee together. One more like that on the right side. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, nose and knee together. And then bring both knees together. Let's do the opposite side. So on an inhale, bring the left leg back. Keep the toes under. Don't lift that leg. You'll get much more power and strength by keeping the toes down. Exhale. The deep, slow exhale. Two more. Inhale, look forward, reach the left heel back. Exhale, nose and knee together. Last one. Inhale, heart forward, looking forward, heel back. Exhale, bringing it together. And then bring both knees next to each other. Here's where we're going to do the twist. So on it, you might want to take one of those paper towels and place it in the middle to rest your head on, because what we're going to start with is our right arm, bringing it out to the side, lifting and looking up, and a real deep, deep, deep twist now, taking that right hand past the left wrist and bringing the left shoulder down, and maybe the head just rests right on that paper towel. Inhale, bring it up. We're going to do two more. Exhale, bring that head down to the paper towel and wrist. Or bring it down to the floor. Last one, inhale, it comes up. And exhale, thread the needle on that right side. Inhale, come back to your hands and knees, and we'll do the opposite side. But first, let's do one very simple classic cat and cow. Looking down at the floor or your paper towel, keep the head where it is, don't move it, just inhale and lift the tailbone up towards the ceiling and press your hands into the floor, broadening from shoulder to shoulder. Exhale, tucking it in. Remember, slow on that exhale. 2 more like that. A simple cat and cow, not looking up at the ceiling, looking down at the floor or your paper towel. Just the hips move. Exhale, really deep arch. Really press into the floor, pull that navel in. Last one, cat and cow. Inhale, looking down, not up. And exhale, arching the spine. Then come to neutral, and let's try the opposite side for that thread the needle. So this time, on an inhale, reach the left arm up, on an inhale. Slowly, deeply, and thoroughly draw that left arm behind the right wrist. Inhale, sweep the left arm up again. And the exhale brings that arm, threads it all the way through. Last one, the in-breath. Inhales, opens the chest. There's a bit of an open twist here. And as you exhale, you take the very, very deep, deep twist. And then come back to neutral. I'm going to put my paper towels back into their little towers. And I'm going to take my knees, leave them exactly where they are, walk my hands a little bit forward, hands length forward, tuck my toes. And here we're going to start doing some movement back and forth, just little movements back and forth, using the toes as sort of an anchor, like an anchor on a boat. But as I inhale, I come forward, as far forward as you want to go. Exhale, the hips go back. The in-breath comes forward. It's the slow, deep exhale that is going to pull lymph all throughout our body. Inhale, that's easy and fun to do. It's the exhale that does the work of keeping our immune system strong. One more like that. Inhale, come forward. Exhale. Real deep exhale. And then come to neutral. I am going to take my blanket and put it off to the side. You are welcome to keep your blanket wherever you would like. But we're going to be moving our legs a little further now, and I find the blanket gets a little bit in the way. I'm going to find my 2 paper towels. Amazing how sturdy they are, aren't they, Dale? It's kind of interesting. I had some doubts, but I'm very pleased to say. So if you put your paper towels underneath your shoulders, looking forward, with an in-breath, let's take your right leg back behind you. And that exhale, remember, that's the power tool, bringing that right foot forward. Well, I need a little bit more space with those paper towels, okay? Good. And what we're going to do here is a seesaw back and forth. As I move forward with my right knee, I let my chest come forward of my nose. Exhale. Slow, deep, however deep you need and can go. It's a little bit of a rounding in the spine. 2 more like that. The in-breath is the movement forward. And the out-breath, slow, deep, methodical. Feel that breath. Inhale, 1 more like that. And the exhale, pulling that right hip back. And at the same time, feel the engagement of those abdominal muscles like they were pressing into the floor when we were lying on our backs. Come to a neutral position with the right knee, and let's do the left. We always start with the inhale, bringing it back. So as you inhale, bring that left leg back behind you, looking forward, reaching through the heel, And as you exhale, slowly bring that left foot forward. In breath, coming forward. Exhale, pulling that left hip back as far as possible. Inhale, and it certainly kind of gets things going in the abdominal organs as well. I find these crunches like this, these squeeze and soak. It really helps with my digestion and also with keeping myself regular. TMI, but there you go. And then come to a neutral position and bring both legs together. Inhale the right leg back again. Exhale, bring it forward. But this time we're going to do the runner's stretch. So take that right leg and let it stretch out in front of you like the runner's stretch. So just reach that heel forward. Been working a lot with the heels too, figuring out that they are quite instrumental to keeping our body straight and safe. Now just rock that foot in the runner stretch from side to side. Just wiggle it back and forth, side to side. And then front and back using the breath. Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, bring it back. 2 more. Inhale, forward. Exhale, and back. Did we do 3? If not, do 1 more. And then bring both knees together. Let's do that runner stretch on the left side. The inhale brings you back, and the exhale brings that left foot forward. Sort of wiggle that foot from side to side. First of all, it's also very good for warming up the hip socket for some bigger poses that we're going to be doing standing, okay? But then use the breath to go forward on an inhale with the foot. Exhale, just engage those quads and pull that foot back. 2 more. Inhale forward. Exhale back. I know this is the 3rd one. I've been counting this time. Inhale forward and exhale and back. And then bring both knees together and we'll start to move towards more of our standing poses. So let's take our right leg, bring it back. Inhale, heart forward. And we're going to transition now to a high lunge. Exhale, bring the right foot forward. Inhale, tuck the left toes and lengthen the left leg. Exhale, straighten the right leg. So you have both legs nice and straight. 2 more. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, straighten the right leg. Inhale, forward, bending the right knee. And exhale, both legs are straight. Then come to neutral with the right knee. We'll do the left side, bringing the left knee down before we come up to stand. Bring both knees together. Starting left, inhale, left leg back. Exhale, bring that left foot forward between the paper towels. And tuck your right toes under. In breath, lifts that right leg. And the exhale straightens the left. 2 more. Inhale, bend left. Exhale, straighten right. Oh, both left. Inhale forward. Exhale, straighten that left leg. Come to neutral, bent left knee, looking forward, heart going forward, right heel going back. Inhale, and use your powerful, slow exhale to bring both feet forward between your paper towels. Drop your hips, lift your head, and inhale, float all the way up to stand. And exhale, take 1 breath in Tadasana. Oh, Tadasana, standing pose. I'm going to sort of take my blocks back, my paper towels back here so that you can see me just a little bit better. Before we get started, make sure that you have your roll, your blanket roll, somewhere by the side of your mat. So standing tall. You know, we forget about how to stand up and stand up straight and tall. I know I do, and I've found and I've discovered that I have some magic buttons that help me stand up straight. And they happen to be right here in my thighs. We're going to use these magic buttons in a lot of other standing poses, but put a little bend in your knees and then place your hands on your thighs. As you inhale, push your thighs back and see how the whole spine, as you push the thighs back, the hips come forward and you come up nice and tall. Okay? So that really is an engagement of your quad muscles. It's really important to finding a nice tall spine standing up. Bringing your arms out to the side. Let the palms turn out as you inhale. And then as you exhale, bring your hands back to your magic button, bending your knees deeply and letting your tailbone come back behind you as your heart goes forward. Up. This is getting close to what we call chair pose. The inhale turns the palms out, lengthens the legs, and brings your arms all the way up overhead. The exhale again takes our hands to our thighs onto our magic button, maybe pressing down a little bit harder in the magic button. The inhale brings us all the way back up. And the deep exhale, again, exhale, exhale, exhale as you bend your knees and press your hands into your magic buttons. Last one like that. Full lengthening of the spine all the way up. Now, as you're here with your arms lengthened up towards the ceiling, let's do a little side bending from standing. Bring your left hand down onto your thigh. Inhale, reach the right arm straight up towards the ceiling. And exhale, take a side bend over to the left. Inhale, both arms straight up towards the ceiling. Exhale, right hand down. Elongate first, pressing the left heel into the floor and side bending on the exhale over to the right. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, the left hand down to your thigh. Now we're going to try something just a little bit different. On an inhale, lift your left heel. On an exhale, side bend with the heel lifted. Just lift the heel up over to the left. Stay here. Inhale. And as you exhale, push that left heel down into the floor and see if that doesn't bring you into a little deeper twist over to the left. Inhale, both arms up. We'll do that on the other side. As you exhale, bring your right hand down. Lift your right heel, lift it up. And as you exhale, side bend over to the right. Stay here. Take another in-breath. But the out-breath presses that right heel down and lengthens you a little bit deeper to the right side. Inhale, both arms up. And as you exhale, deep, deep, deep bend in the knees. See if you can bring your hands onto your paper towels. If the hands don't come, oh, look at Dale. Her hands come very nicely to her paper towels. Mine don't quite. I'm going to add in some CD covers to make it really easy. Okay, bending my knees, my hands are on my paper towels. I'm going to inhale my right leg back behind me. Exhale, bring the right knee to the floor, untuck the toes. Inhale, sweep the arms up straight towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring the hands down. Inhale, tuck the right toes under and lengthen the right leg. Exhale, bring the feet together. Hips down, heart up. Inhale, fly up. Deep bend in the knees. Exhale, hands to blocks. I'm going to inhale the left leg back this time. Exhale, bring the left knee to the floor. Inhale, sweep the arms up, saluting the sun. Exhale, hands to blocks. This is our sun salute in Yoga for Cancer. Inhale, lengthen that left leg. Exhale, feet together. Hips down, heart lifts. Inhale, flying up. And exhale, one breath in Tadasana. So now we're moving a little bit more quickly and a little bit more movement. Inhale, the arms up. Deep bend in the knees, hands to blocks. Inhale, the right leg back behind you. This time, turn the right heel to a 45-degree angle. So that means not quite out to the side, a little bit forward. And with an in-breath, climb your hands up onto the left thigh. Oh, guess what? That magic button is in there. Good deal. All right. So on an in-breath, I'm going to let my right arm float forward. On an out-breath, I'm going to press into my magic button and see if my chest doesn't come a little bit more forward. My arm a little bit higher towards the ceiling. Next in-breath, bring both arms up. And then finding that out-breath to slowly come down. Don't rush that going down. That's the most important part to building bone and moving lymph. Inhale, lift the right heel, look forward, and only as you exhale do you come forward with that right foot. Inhale, flying all the way up. And as you exhale, deep bend in the knees, we're going to go right back down again. Inhale, left leg back behind you. Exhale, turn it to 45 degrees. Still deep bend in the right knee. And with the in-breath, we climb both hands onto that right thigh, pressing down in the right magic button now with the right hand. Inhale, sweep the left arm up. Exhale, press even more into that right thigh, lifting the chest. Another in-breath here. And that is only to find the out-breath that is going to lift the right arm up. Exhale, another in-breath, and slowly bring the hands down onto the blocks with great control. Lift the left heel as you inhale, looking forward, and exhale, both feet together. Inhale, flying up towards the thigh. And exhale, both hands onto either side. So now we're going to do that same sort of step back to warrior one and add a few things onto it. On an inhale, arms lift up. On an exhale, deep bend in the knees. On an inhale, take your right leg back behind you. Exhale into warrior one position. Good. On an inhale, stretch that left leg, making it straight, pulling the hip right back. Keep your left hand where it is. On an inhale, bring your right arm out to the side and up into basically triangle pose. Now, some of you might want to walk that right foot in a little bit to make your triangle a little bit narrower. That's fine. With the right arm up towards the ceiling, I'm going to exhale and take my right hand down underneath my chest and to the outer left ribs. So the hand touches the outer left. On an in-breath, I'm going to rotate those left ribs to the right, doing a little bit of a lymphatic massage here as the right arm goes up. It's the exhale that brings that right hand again underneath the left ribs. Sliding the hand across the ribs to the right, lifting that right arm up towards the ceiling on an inhale. And the exhale, pulling the navel in, the hand goes into a bit of a twist and then slides across. The last one, right arm up towards the ceiling. This time as you exhale, bring the right hand to the block tower. Inhale, lift the right heel, bend your left knee, look forward, and as you exhale, both feet together. Hips down, heart lifts, inhale, flying up, and exhale. Let's take one breath in Tadasana, because that was a lot of work, a lot of good work. So preparing now again. On an inhale, sweep the arms out and up. On an exhale, bend the knees, place the hands to the blocks. The in-breath brings the left leg back behind you, turning the heel down, and maybe shorten the stance just a little bit. Inhale here. Use the out-breath to straighten the right leg. Check to make sure that your right wrist is under your right shoulder on the block tower. Then inhale, the left arm up towards the ceiling, taking you into triangle pose. The exhale brings that arm down to the outside of the right ribs. The inhale rotates, twists Triangle is a wonderful twist pose. Twists are good. Exhale, it comes down. And also it's a great way to bring lymphatic massage into the chest area and use our powerful breath to stimulate, massage our abdominal organs. So each time you inhale, the arm lifts. Each time you exhale, the hand comes underneath and to the opposite ribs. The in-breath slides it back again up towards the ceiling. This time, your next exhale, bring the left hand to the tower. Inhale, lift the back heel, lift the left heel and bend the right knee, and use an exhale to bring yourself forward between the blocks. Inhale, slide all the way up, and exhale, one breath in Tadasana. Okay, so what we're going to do now is a couple of balancing poses. Anyone who wants to use a wall, it's more than welcome to do that now. But I would suggest also that you have something. I think the paper towel will work, but I'm going to use my, Dale, you try doing it. We're going to do eagle pose. I think the paper towel will work. Dale's going to do that. I'm going to use a stack of CDs. And what we're going to do is find those magic buttons again. So placing a paper towel either on both sides of your feet, or just start with the left one on the outside of the left. And Dale, I would turn it down like this. Yeah. Okay. Standing between your paper towels or your blocks or your CDs. Press into our magic buttons. Press down. Inhale. Bring the shoulders together on your back. Stick the booty out. And then as you exhale, lift your right leg up and cross it over on the left thigh, so that both thighs are squeezing together. And we're just going to do one little movement here with the legs. We're going to build muscle and strengthen the legs and pump lymph from our lower torso. We're not going to add the arms in. As you inhale, press down on your magic buttons. Press those thighs into each other. Lift the chest, bring the heart forward. As you exhale, come just a little bit up. Inhale, pressing down. Exhale, slight release. Inhale, pressing down. Exhale, slight release. And then relieve that, and let's do the opposite side. So you'll need either a block, a stack of CDs, or your paper towel on the outside of the right thigh. Find your chair pose. Press into the thighs, shoulder blades together, and bring the left leg over on top of the right. Now, when it's here, we kind of want to make sure that our chest is not turning to the side. We want both boobs looking forward so that there's a squareness of the chest coming forward. We're going to inhale and press down. Exhale and lift up. Inhale, press down, shoulder blades together on your back. Exhale, lift up. Ooh, I'm sure feeling it in my legs. Inhale, press down. Exhale, lift up. And then release that. So we were standing all of our body weight, all of it on one leg at a time. That's really good for building bone. And now we're going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to suggest that you might want to hold on to the wall here. I'm going to use a pretend wall. But what we're going to do is let all the weight of our body come into our right leg as we come onto our left big toe. On an inhale, press down to lift the spine up. On an exhale, lift the left leg up just a little tiny bit. You may want to hold on underneath it if that gives you a little bit more stability. Good. Let's just stay here for one breath, but follow the breath. Don't just say, I'm breathing. We're going to inhale and bend the right knee a little bit. Exhale and straighten it. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. One more like that. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. And then lower that left leg down onto the floor and let it shake out a little bit. So coming onto the left leg now, feel the left foot centered in the floor. Come up onto your right big toe. Inhale, feel the left heel go down into the floor. And using an exhale, remember the exhale is what gives us control. So if I'm exhaling to lift my right thigh up, staying here, I'm going to inhale and bend a little in the left. Ooh, I'm a little wobbly. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. And then lower that leg down onto the floor. You know, when you're wobbly, that doesn't mean that you are weak or out of condition or anything else. It means that your body's really paying attention and those muscles are working. So wobbling is good. All right, now what we're going to do is prepare to go down onto the floor to do a few other things that are, we're going to a slumber party. So finding your, and actually you could use the paper towels for this. In fact, I'm going to try to use my paper towels. But I suggest that folded blanket you put in the middle of your mat, like this. I'm going to use my paper towels, not the folded blanket. I'm going to put 2 paper towels down here. Paper towel industry is going to get a lot of business out of all of this. And then what we're going to do is come down onto our hands and knees in front of the paper towels. And this is all about your anatomy, your architecture. And what we want to do is to come so that I'm resting my thighs. You see the tops of my thighs are on the paper towels. Not my belly, but the tops of my thighs. And you see that? It's the thighs, not the belly. And then come down onto your elbows. My elbows are right underneath my shoulders. The tops of my feet are on the floor. This is really, feels quite nice. On an inhale, I'm going to push my toes back, bring my heart forward, and lift my chest just as much as I possibly can by pressing into my palms. Exhale and release. So we're giving ourselves a little back bend here. Really good to strengthen that spine. Inhale, lift the chest, put the shoulder blades together. And exhale, release. One more like that. Inhale, push into the palms, lift the chest, shoulder blades together. Exhale and release. Okay, and then what we want to do is just walk yourself back onto your hands and knees. You can move your paper towels or blanket. And then I'm sure that Dale is going to demonstrate this nicely. I am too. We're going to slide onto one hip, either side, and then out onto our mat, and then roll over onto your back. Make sure that you can reach for and find your blanket or your paper towel, because from here, we are going to do some bridge poses and then a supported bridge for a wonderful restorative pose. You bend your knees, place your hands on the floor, make them like little suction cups on either side of you. Press into your suction cups, lift the chest slightly with your inhale, and then as you exhale, make it really slow and exaggerated. Feel yourself really sinking into the floor. And then maybe this time, as you inhale, that lifting of the chest will be like a balloon rising, and bring the hips up just a little bit higher. The controlled exhale, as you exhale, bringing the hips down, reaching the hips, the tailbone towards your heels. Now this time, well, Dale, make sure that your hand can reach out there and grab one of those paper towels. Good. And then on an inhale, you're going to lift the hips up and slide that paper towel right underneath your lower spine, underneath your sacrum. So let's stay here for just a moment and work with our arms. Lifting with the in-breath, the arms straight up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, bend the elbows and bring your arms down onto the floor into Cactus Pose. And then from here, inhale and straighten the arms out into a big T. And as you exhale, turn the palms down onto the floor. Inhale, turn the palms up towards the ceiling and bring the arms pointing to the ceiling. Exhale, turn the palms down and reaching out to the side of the floor. Two more like that. Really rotating those arm bones in the arm sockets. As you inhale, it lifts up. And the controlled exhale. Feel the diaphragm moving towards your heart as you bring your arms down to either side. Now, you're more than welcome to stay here. Or the next time you exhale, remove the paper towel from underneath your sacrum, off to the side. Let your hips rest. Let your legs lengthen out onto the floor. And if it feels nice and you want to grab that paper towel again and put it underneath the thighs, that's an option. Certainly they will make nice little bolsters. From here, I would like you to, again, reach your palms out towards the sides of your body, slightly away from you, but not in a T, just a nice little V shape, a W shape next to your body. Lift the right hand up towards the ceiling, bend the elbow, and place the top of your right hand on your forehead. Lift the left hand up and rest it and let it settle right into the cup of your right hand. Let both hands weigh here on your forehead. And let's take 2 breaths in here, observing how when you inhale, your elbows move out to the side, opening the chest slightly. And when you exhale, feel a softening of your whole body. Like every muscle, except those holding your arms up, are reaching for relaxation. Now, one at a time, when we start with the left hand, bring it onto your heart. Right hand on top of it. And we'll do the same thing here. Observing the breath as you inhale first. And then as you exhale, as if you are actually softening your heart. As you inhale, take the right hand down towards your side, keeping the elbow tucked in close to your body. And then the left hand to mimic it. Inhale here and open your fingers wide. As you exhale, slowly roll those fingers inward towards a nice little closed flower bud. Then turn the flower bud down onto the floor and begin to let all of your effort to breathe become less effortful, softer, very smooth, and quiet. The little movement come into your fingers. Let them just wiggle around the ends of your arms. And let little movements come into your feet, letting them rock from side to side at the ends of your legs. And then slowly, one at a time, bring your knees in towards your chest. And rock from side to side across your hips, your lower spine, bringing movement into your whole body from side to side. And then choosing a side to move to as we come up to a seated posture, whichever direction you want to go in. And as you come up, find a place to sit. Cancer, like other bad news, can cause stress, anxiety, can make it difficult to sleep. What we know is that these things steal our breath away and sometimes do not allow us to let go. That healing breath, the exhale. So I want to leave you with this thought. If you are feeling your breath getting caught, if you're feeling anxious or stressed or can't sleep, to just stop and watch your breath. Observe the inhale and lengthen the exhale. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Namaste. Thank you for being here. I hope to see you again next Monday. And in the meantime, this recording of this will be on our website. You are welcome to invite anyone to watch. And I also welcome you to observe all of the other classes that are on the website. Y4C.com. Namaste.